Hey folks, Jessica here. So, brief video today. I finally got 6 to 6-star uncap, so Transcendence. And this isn't going to be a character spotlight, because it's going to honestly take a while before I fully max out 6, but we'll talk about that a little bit. But it did bring up the point that I haven't actually done a video on Transcendence for Eternals yet, and I know that's a thing a lot of people are interested in. So I just want to talk about a little bit where it is right now, because I think it's a little bit confusing if you aren't keeping up to date with like stuff as it comes out for Granblue. So if you didn't know, a while back they started doing transcendences for the Eternals. So they were previously able to get to 5-star, and now Transcendence lets them get to technically 6-star, and then eventually all the way up to 150. But they're doing it in increments. So if you weren't familiar, um, only a few Eternals every few months are getting their 6-star uncap, and it's going in 10-level increments. So here, a good way I can do it to show you is just pull up someone like 6. So 6, I just uncapped him. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, and then the 6-star is segmented. So when you do the first uncap, you unlock the first segment. That lets you get them to 110, and that gives them a bunch of bonuses. And then you've got to do another uncap thing to get them to 120, then 130. And I believe no one can go past 130 right now. And I believe all the Eternals at this point in time, check the timestamp if you're watching this in the future, the date stamp rather, um, all of them except for Esser, Tien, and Neo slash what is Neon? Is that her name? And I always mix up the JP names and the EN names, but yeah, those are the only two that don't have them yet, and they're supposed to get them in August. And when they get their transcendences, I believe then characters will start being able to go to 150. So let's break down what it actually takes to get there, because it's a lot. Also, while we're looking at 6, this is 6's 6-star uncap art, and all the uncap arts for the Eternals as you transcend them are it's basically a group pose where all the other Eternals are using that Eternal's weapons. So you can see here, that's like Sarasa, Thrio with claws. That's Esser with claws. I love Fun for claws. She kind of looks like a cat. There's Neo, Toyin. Everyone has claws, right? And same thing. If you want to see what Fun looks like with a gun, then you'll have to wait till Esser gets her 6-star uncap. And then they get new skins as well. So let's see. So they get new art, but they also get new sprites. So the like as you can see, all 6's sprites are like this stance, except for when you get to Transcendence, they have a brand new stance. All of them are brand new stance. I do really like 6's because like he loses his cape and also his claws now that I look at it with his 5-star uncap, and the cape and claws come back with 6-star, so I like that. I would like it even better if his mask fully came back, but he's just using the half mask, which is fine. I'll show charge attack for him because they all get new charge attack animations too. But in terms of full character spotlight on 6, that will come when I get him to like until I level him a bit, probably to 130. So yeah, let's talk about the process on capping them. Then I'll talk about what you get at various levels. So since I already uncapped 6, I can show this through another one like Toyin, who's the next one. I think 6 and then Toyin are gonna be my two priorities. Then we'll see. I really need to see what Esser and Neo are like as well. But I like this process, I'll just be upfront with you, is gonna be a horrendous grind. Like, I feel like every time I say that Granblue is grindy for like one particular reason, they're like, no, it's not, and add something that's even grindier. And Eternals are exactly that. I think like when 6-star Eternals were announced, people were like, half the community is really excited, and half the community is like, oh no, another grind. I think the half the community that was like, oh no, another grind was like totally on point because yeah, it's a big grind. So what does it take? So first things first, you got to get them to the specific one to level 100. I believe you also need to have all the Eternals. So first things first, you got to get them all. Then you got to get the one you want to do to level 100. I don't think you need to get them all. You don't need to get them all to level 100. Just the one you want to do. So Toyin's 100, did all our Fate episodes, etc. Next thing you gotta do is get them to level 7 awakening. That shouldn't be that hard. Compared to the rest, that's an easy step. Then, whoop, on. Then the next thing you gotta do is farm a bunch of materials. So it would take 80 halos total. For dark, it's gonna take 40 water, 40 earth. For light, it's gonna take 40 fire, 40 wind. For a wind character, it's going to take 80 wind halos. The halos are kind of a pain, but they're not that bad. As long as you like have a decent like charge attack team, you can just jump into the Primarch trials and just one pawn that. They're always going now since people need those. Stiggy has thoughts here on this whole process. That shouldn't be that bad. It's gonna be time consuming, but everything is time consuming. Then you're going to need 50 of the material from the Six Dragon Advent fight. So Thunderbolt Wheel from Luo for Tuyen for a light character. What do you want, Siggy? Siggy is being a whiny baby. And then you need 20 Damascus crystals. Remember, it's crystals. I always recommend if you got a bunch of crystals, don't convert them into a Dama bar unless you immediately need a Dama bar, because there's not really a good way to convert them back, as far as I know anyways. If there is a way to convert Dama bars to crystals, let me know, because as far as I know there isn't. So yeah, don't up convert these, just leave them as crystals until you need them. That's all pretty easy. The hard part's this thing. So there's so Desolation Crown bows twins, but there's one for each character. So this token, this treasure, whatever you want to call it, you go treasure, you go Transcendence, and you can see them. First thing you're gonna note, you're gonna need a gold bar. Let's just get that away. You're gonna need a gold bar for this. This is to get them 110, by the way. I think like a point of confusion is when you transcend them the first time, it's just to 110. Then you gotta do another set of things to 120, then to 130, and then who knows what the process to 140 to 150 are going to be, but it's probably going to be more stuff. Who knows? It might be more gold bars. I would not be surprised, honestly, if it was. But yes, so this part of it, it's going to take 200 of their weapon shards, their silver weapon shards. So you got to do a ton of Angel Halo to get these. 200 is a lot, not going to lie. But you're just going to have to do a ton of Angel Halo. It's just... and it's fine, because the thing that actually ended up being harder to get for me was not the shards. It was 30 of their rusted weapon that's been element switched. So if you don't remember, the rusted weapon... Sticky, what do you want, baby? The rusted weapons... 30 fully uncapped means that you need to get 120 drops. Why this is a bit frustrating is 120 drops of these is a lot. And I think the annoying part is rusted weapons have not always had a really important use. And in fact, if you've been playing for a while, you might remember a time when the advice people would give in terms of rusted weapon was if you had extras, just feed them to your crew's ship to gain points. Well, now if you get to this point today and you've been doing that, well, you're gonna really regret it, because you need 120 of these freaking things. You can use steel bricks, and frankly, I used about 40 steel bricks just getting Six's Fist uncapped. Whether or not that's good use of steel bricks is up to you to decide, but honestly, it takes for fucking ever to get that many rusted weapons. I suspect the rusted weapons are going to be the block for most people. Granted, you can trade for 8 of them a month, but that's 8 of them a month out of 120. So, like, don't get rid of your rusted weapons. Just hold on to every single rusted weapon until you have at least 120. I would hold on to, like, even more than that. I just wouldn't get rid of your rusted weapons in case you need more. Hello, Sticky. He's so mad. He's like, oh, it's such a grind. It's such a grind. Yes, Siggy, it is. But yes, that's just the first step. Let's talk about the rest of it. Okay, so that was stage 1, Transcendence. Stage 2, remember, it's 5 stages. So there's the 6 stars divided into 5 segments. Stage 1's the first segment, and it lets you get the character to 110. And when you get the character to 110, it's going to unlock a new charge attack, it's going to unlock a new skin, it's going to unlock, like, new EMP, and then taking them to the second stage would let you get them to 120, which will further unlock more stuff about them. We'll talk about what each stage unlocks in a second, but let's just talk about what it takes to get to the next stage. So I'm letting you know this also because this is going to let you plan ahead. And really, if you want to prevent this from being a horrendous grind, the best way to do it is just plan ahead and then look as a long-term project. If you try and really force this, it's going to be a rough grind. It's going to be a rough grind anyways, but it's going to be a really rough grind. You're trying to force this. So the first thing you need is 50 Omega animas for like Omega 2 animas. So for of the respective element of that character. So for 6, it's going to be Avatar Omega animas. These are the Omega ones, the gold ones. So that's not honestly that terrible. It's a lot, but if you do Avatar or whatever one every day, then you should be fine. I had to mute the store because Zero talks for a long time when you dig around these menus. But so you can trade for these. So if you got like the regular animas can be traded plus some quartz for the mega animas. So that's one way to get it. Besides just getting it as a straight drop. And then in addition to that, I think a way that a lot of people get it, and the way I got most of mine, is if you go to Prestige Pendant Trades. Where is it? You can trade at an unlimited rate, by the way. I, I seem to remember this used to be limited, but I think it's unlimited now, which is nice. You can trade one of these regular animas. You can trade 30 pendants, get one of these regular animas, so 300 pendants essentially get one Omega anima. So like that one's pretty manageable. That one shouldn't be too bad. And the next thing you're gonna need is 300 of the urn associated with your character. So for 6, it's gonna be dark urns. Um, I'll show you how many urns I have. I don't know if this is really indicative of what most people have, but urns are not a problem for me. But then again, maybe they will be for you, because I'm looking at this and I need, what, 300 dark urns, and I have almost 600, 597. So I was looking at earlier, I'm like, oh, urns are easy, but then now I glance over at light urns, which I would need for Tway, and I only have 24. So I don't know why I have so many dark urns. I might have just really hammered. I don't remember what I got those from, but I was farmed something that dropped a lot of dark urns in the past. It may have been Dark Angel Olivia. It's probably a combination of Dark Angel Olivia and Anubis or something. I don't know. I definitely farmed something though to get that many urns. So urns is another thing you need to get, and then here's the one that's kind of a gut punch. I mean, as it is a gut punch or just expected. You need 50 more Revenant weapon shards. If you have a 5-star turtle, you know how to get these. Either you 10 box, or sorry, you 40 box Unite fight to get 40 copies of the Revenant weapon, and then you do all the shit to uncap them and element switch them, and you reduce them, or you spend a gold, you upgrade one all the way and you spend a gold bar. So it's either the grind all over again or a gold bar plus a little bit of grind. I am honestly thinking about just using a gold bar for this because honestly, I can't be fucked to 40 bucks, 40 more fists. I really can't. I don't know. We'll see. I have the gold bars for it. We'll see. I might just gold bar this. I don't know if I care enough to like try 40 bucks again. We'll see. Uh, Primeval horns, 100 of them. That shouldn't be too bad. Again, I've got 41. I mean, just do Ultimate Bahamut every day. Um, Not Ultimate Bahamut. Proto Bahamut HL every day. You should be doing every day anyways for a chance of a gold bar drop, but that one shouldn't be too bad. And honestly, if you've done your Dark Opus weapons, you're used to farming those things by now. The next one is 100 legendary merits. That one shouldn't be bad either. So I have 100. I have 100 legendary merits already. But if you need more, you can trade for them here in the store under treasure, and they just take what are these? 3 supreme merits and then 10 champion merits. I have enough to get an absolute shit ton. You probably do too. Well, okay, you might. Again, I don't know if my like stockpile stuff is the standard, or if I just have a lot of shit, or if I have a weird amount of certain shit. But for me, it wasn't too bad. For you, like, it shouldn't be too terrible for him because there's tons of ways to get this stuff. And then we get into the weird shit. Okay, well, it's also going to take 5 million rupees. Rupees, again, shouldn't be too bad. But what? I just realized my screen is not scrolling down enough. Hold on a second. There. Okay. It's going to take 5 million rupees. Rupees shouldn't be too bad. Then Blue Sky Spirit. What is that? Well, I'll show you. So Blue Sky Spirit, go Transcendence, down here. It's 20,000 CP. I have 28,000 CP. So that would lead me to believe this might be a huge issue for some people. So just know that you need to keep your CP. You need a ton of CP in order to get this. So the first one's not going to be a problem for me. I'm not sure how actually I'm going to go about getting the second one, but CP is now a thing you need to worry about again. And honestly, the fact that I have a surplus of 28,000 does suggest that they need more outputs for it. But man, I would have expected 28,000 to get me further than just one of these. So that's stage 2. What is stage 3? I'm going to dwell on CP for a second longer because honestly, I had forgotten how you got them because it's been a non-issue for so long. So likely a lot of you have forgotten how you get them also. But the primary, like initially, the way you get CP is by leveling up. You get them every time you level up. This is likely not how you can get most of them because you only get 30 per level. However, events often reward CP. So story events, you get them from the draw boxes. So try and do as many draw boxes as you can. Side stories says here gives you 400 each, so that's a way to get a bunch to catch up on a bunch of if you don't have many. And then if you want a really fast way, you can trade moons for them. Gold moons actually trade like one gold moon trades for 2,500 of these, so you need 20,000 for one of the blue sky spirits. You could just trade 8 gold moons. That's the fastest way, but gold moons are also important for things like Damascus ingots, for things like the vintage weapons, for the superlative weapons. Like, there's a lot of things that are really good that you use gold moons for. So you're competing with those. So you're gonna have to kind of figure out how you want to get those CP if you need them. But moons are the fast way. If you use the Skyleap browser on your phone, which I just started doing, then you can get them there too, and that's probably going to be like the most painless way as long as you're willing to install the Skyleap browser on your phone. And then if you actually spend on the game, you can get them from the Mobile Point shop as well. But that's not a great rate. So like those are your various options. Just keep those in mind. So now let's talk about stage 3 Transcendence. Stage 3 Transcendence. I need to make the windows bigger again. 1 second. Smaller. There we go. So stage 3 Transcendence. And I'm just going directly off what the wiki says because I haven't done it yet, obviously, since I still need to get my 6 actually leveled up. Because leveling them, this is just to uncap them. Leveling them up is a whole nother thing entirely, just in terms of how much time it takes. I'll show you in a second. So stage 3 is to uncap them to 130. So you have to complete a 6 dragon event quest of the element associated with Eternal. Shouldn't be a big deal. And then you have to host and clear the 6 dragon raid of the element associated with the Eternal. So for 6, it would be you have to do solo Fidel, and then you have to host and clear the Fidel raid. That's a weird thing to have as a requirement here, because honestly, if you're this far along, then you have very likely done both of those things. It doesn't even say you have to solo them or anything. It's just you have to clear them. So you should hopefully have that taken care of, like by this point in time. But the thing that is kind of all people wonder where you get this is the lapis merit. So a lapis merit is from basically the Valor Badge shop. So United Fight or Dread Barrage. It takes 300 Valor Badges. So this might or might not be a big deal for you. Just save your Valor Badges. If you want to like transcend Eternal, save Valor Badges. I know a lot of people, especially if you're still really trying to get a lot of Sunlight Stones, or you're not a crew that does a lot of United Fight, it might be a little bit hard to get that many Valor Badges, or that many Valor Badges might be a bigger deal for you, I guess is a way to put it. You're just gonna have to save some, or like skip a Sunlight Stone, like one United Fight, in order to save up for Lapis Merit. 300's not cheap, but it's not nuts either. And then if you want to do multiple of these characters, then well, you gotta save further still. I'm just gonna say right up front, I would recommend you focus on one character at a time and like make it the one you really want to invest in and do a lot of research into whether or not they're going to be worthwhile for you. And then also do a lot of soul searching in terms of whether or not they're a character you are actually invested in enough. Like, I wouldn't do this if you don't actually like the character or don't intend to use the character, because this is a huge ass grind. Yeah, I'm sure 2 years from now, people will be like, "Oh yeah, I've got all 10 fully transcended Eternals." But right now, where we're sitting right now, it's a huge grind. Let's talk about what you actually get. Easiest way to visualize this is just to look at six, since he's one I've got transcended at the moment to stage one. So we're reminder, we're only gonna look at what you get up to level 130, because you can't take them to 140 yet, you can't take them 150 yet, and who knows what's going to take to get them to 140 and 150, or what you're going to get for taking them 140 and 150. We'll find out in August. That's the current schedule, at least. We'll see how well they actually land that schedule. August is about 2 weeks away as of this recording, so we'll know pretty soon. But yeah, here we can take a look at the progression of Six's charge attack, because that's the first thing you get when you stage 1 transcend him, a new charge attack. So Six started with Void Plot Terminus, which was a charge attack that gave 2 mirror images. Then it became 3001 Talons. So again, still 2 mirror images, but now a dodge all, which is actually pretty nice. And then at stage 1 transcends, it becomes Essence of a Demonic Asura. So 2 mirror images, a dodge all, and then raises Heavenly Howl level by 2. I'm not going to give you a full breakdown of 6, but I'll tell you what Heavenly Howl does. Heavenly Howl is it's every turn he doesn't get hit, he stacks this up, and it's a stacking buff that's quite substantial. At level 1, it's 35% attack up, 15% triple attack up, 3% damage cap up. At level 6, it's 210% attack up, 90% triple attack up, so he's essentially guaranteed triple at that point, and then 18% damage cap up. Takes time, takes him not getting hit, but he does plenty of things in the kit to make him not get hit. But the stage 1 Transcendence makes him get there a lot faster, right? Because 2 levels is a big chunk. So that's what you get at stage 1 Transcendence. And then the other thing you get is one more EMP skill. So 110 will get you access to a new EMP skill. 120 will get you access to a new EMP skill. 130 will get you access to a new EMP skill. The 110 one is a damage cap up, just straight up 10% damage cap up. That's significant in and of itself. So what does 120 get you? 120 gets you a new passive. So for 6, it's Dauntless Pack Member, boosted dodge rate based on Heavenly Howl level. I cannot find any numbers on what that boosted dodge rate is actually, like how much it actually is. I will say that seems like more nice to have than anything that's completely mind-blowing, but I don't know what the number is. The number might be really, really high. Anyone knows what that number is? Let me know. I'm kind of curious. But then the other thing it gets you is new EMP, which is amplify counterattack damage. 6, if you've ever played him, does a lot of counterattack damage, so this one might actually be pretty good. All these EMPs are really strong, by the way. Let's just start there. These aren't like the other EMPs where they're nice little bonuses. These are all very powerful. You're going to want to max all the Transcendent EMPs. So at max level, it's 20% amplification to counterattack damage. You've seen me play 6 if you watch any of my videos. There's a lot of times where he'll just like dodge like a multi-hit charge attack from the boss and then counter 6 times for like over 6 million damage. This just plays into that. Like, it's not going to be mind-blowing on its own, but it's a very nice to have. Now, when you get them to stage 3, I think, and it's going to be different for every character, which stages are important, but for 6, I would say stage 3 is huge. So the big thing you get stage 3 is Thunder Flash, his 2 changes. So Thunder Flash is just a buff he can put on himself that gives him hostility and counterattack, counter and dodge. At stage 3, it makes it so when he's full Heavenly Howl, so level 6, he gains double strike when he uses that. And it only has a 6-turn cooldown with 3-turn duration, so it means he's going to have double strike for a significant portion of the time. Never mind the fact that his ultimate 6 ruins enlightenment also gives him double strike. So he's gonna have double strike very often, and remember, 6 hits really freaking hard. So that's pretty good, but that's not all. The other thing that he gets at 130 is this new Transcendent Extended Mastery support skill. Raises Heavenly Howl's level at the start of battle. So how much does it raise it by? Uh, at 3 ranks, which is what you would have, it would raise it by 3. So that means he starts at 3 instead of like at 0, right? So he's gonna basically if you start the fight with that, you're at 3. If you charge attack once, you're at 5. And then like if you a single turn passes, you're at 6. You're already maxed out, and you're gonna be double striking because of your 2. So you can kind of see how 6 really benefits from like all of this stuff. So this makes him quite strong. Like he's already meta, but this further amplifies all the stuff he does. And I was doing a little bit of poking around to just see like what characters are recommended to prioritize Transcendence. And I believe the 2 highest ones were Six and Song. No accident, those are 2 I want to target. Never mind that out of the Eternals, they're 2 of my favorites. So, like Six, I've mentioned several times. I'm not huge fan of the male characters in the game, but Six is my favorite of the male characters because like he's my bro, right? He's like my blood bro. Six is my blood bro. He will spill blood for me. He will kill for me. He will die for me. He has my back in a fight. That's what I look for in a male friend. So like Six, I'm a big fan of Six. And then Song, I love her and Silva. She's a huge lesbian. She's also an edge lord, and I love the fact that like if you've never done Song's level 100 Fate episode, like she goes into huge edge lords that like tailspin because Silva kind of accidentally calls her a monster, and like she doesn't take it well, and she basically tries to lean into that and like beats the crap out of all the other Eternals, and all of them are like, oh no, why are you so like edgy now? Like why you want to fight? And then she'll just destroy them, and Fun's like, no, I hate this new song, and Song just like bodies her anyway. Um, it's a whole thing. It's brutal. But Six, when she goes to fight Six is like, no, I get it. You got a thing you've got to do, and I respect that. So we got to fight, so let's fight. And like Six gets it. So that's why I love Six, and that's why I love Song. They're both like kind of edge lords. Anyway, they're on the same wavelength. Um, so that all aside, and yes, Silva and Song do make up by then. Spoilers. It does involve Silva shooting Song with a rubber bullet in the chest and shooting out of the sky when they fight. But it's a whole thing. You should play that Fate episode. You should also play Silva's version of it and Song's version of it, because it's one of the few Fate episodes where both of their 100 Fate episodes are the same stories, just from their own perspectives. I don't think any other characters do that kind of thing, so that's why I love them. Tangent. Let's look at the charge attack for Six. Okay, we're mostly just interested in seeing the charge attack for 6, so I guess we'll just fight something easy like Apollo real fast. So, standard stuff, give Zoe triple, guaranteed triple, because she's the only person that doesn't guarantee triple, essentially, on this lineup. Also, I'm running a Sky Piercer, so we should probably kill... I think we can kill Apollo before Sky Piercer kills Cheetah. We'll find out. If you ever watch me play Dark, this is basically how Dark does it. She lives life on the edge. I say live life on edge, but it's all very calculated with Dark. So, get all 6's stuff up. And then we can bring Nier back to life now. Should make sure I have charge attacks on. Alright. And then we're good to go. Okay, 6 isn't quite ready to charge attack yet. Next turn. Oh, it's in claws. I love Predator's voice. Okay, whatever. Okay. So Quillin. And then one more time. Creeping Shadow. Assault Blow. Laughing Phantom. I love Predator. Okay. So we'll just do all these things again. Whatever, just click the things. Okay. So now we can finally see Six's charge shot. This is a brief refresher on how Enmity Dark works if you haven't seen it in a while. You know, I hope this will actually kill it before Six gets a charge deck. That would be awkward. No, I think we should be fine. Yeah, 6 for the charge deck. Here we go. So badass. Another one. Let's go. So yeah, that's what 6-star 6's animation's like. That's his 6-star animation victory pose. It's alright victory pose. But yeah, definitely super cool. So yeah, conclusions here. I'll talk about it after the cut. Let's see what Apollo dropped us. Not that we need anything from Apollo. So some conclusions here. First thing to note is it's also going to take a long time to level them. So remember, this is just to uncap them. You actually still have to get them all the XP to level up. So I spent about an hour and a half grinding with 6 in Arcarum and like with double XP, like with all the XP journey drop stuff and like XP grid and stuff. And yeah, for grinding an hour and a half, I got him about a level and a half. Going from 100 to 101 took, I think, 1,000,000 XP. And I think 101 to 102 is like 1,115,000 or something like that. I don't have the number off the top of my head. So you're looking at quite a grind to get them leveled also. And obviously it's just going to be more and more by the time you get to 150. So it's going to be a lot of time just XP grinding, if nothing else as well. Another thing to keep an eye on is taking them from 5-star to 6-star. So stage 1 Transcendence gives you 5 more EMP. But I believe stage 2 does not give you more EMP, stage 3 does not give you more EMP. And I would expect stage 4 and stage 5 won't give you more EMP either, just based on that. So you're gonna have to rethink your overall allocation of EMP. Overall, it's likely that you will want to max all of these new EMPs, because I suspect they will all be very strong. And then, really, I would say that we just looked at what 6 got, right? It makes 6 very much better at what he's doing. But I would also say it's not, like, earth-shattering, right? I think 6 is definitely one of the ones that people say is the strongest one in terms of, like, what they get. But it enhances what he overall already does. So, like, honestly, I wouldn't fret too much if you're not in a position to really do this right now. It's a thing you should be working on as a long-term project. I really wouldn't rush out and think, I've got to 6-star all my Eternals, because you're going to go nuts. It's going to take a long time to get all the mats to do that. Unless you have a huge stockpile of mats. And even then, though, it's going to take you a long-ass time to just level them up, if nothing else. Unless you have, like, I don't know, like 500 gold books lying, like the gold spell books lying around. Yeah, I would really, like, do this, like, for characters that, okay, you're gonna have to do some soul searching. You're gonna either have to focus on, like, you can either focus on characters that you think are gonna make the most difference, like characters are extremely strong in the meta post Transcendence, or characters that you really like. In a perfect case, they both line up, and, like, you know, the character you like is a really strong character. But it's enough of an investment that you're not going to just run out and think, I'll do all of them. So for me, like 6, I've given him a perpetuity ring. He's got his earring. Like he's 20. He was 20 out of 28. Like EMP, he's a character I play a lot, so that's why he was one of my first choices. In addition to being a character I really like, and also a character that, again, I did a little poking around. He's one of the ones that people say to prioritize for Transcendence. And then Song, Toyen is the other one that I was targeting, and again, that's another one people say you should prioritize. She is also a character that, I mean, she's got her perpetuity ring. She's another character I play, well, not recently, but I used to play a lot. Yeah, there you go. Toyen's actually one of those ones where I'm not gonna get into a deep dive of like what her transcendence does at this stage, but she's one of those characters where I kind of want to transcend her because I feel like she's kind of fallen off, and her transcendence actually seems like it'll make her relevant again as like just a really powerful attacker. So yeah, that's part of the reason Twain's next on the list. But yeah, you're like, this is a huge long process, as expected. Like no shocker there. So really have a think-see on who you really want to do this for, and just start saving those mats. And like, again, like don't waste the stuff you need. Like get those urns, hang on to them. Get those Omega Anima, hang on to them. Those rusted weapons, start collecting those. Don't feed them to the freaking ship. Start collecting all the stuff you need, and then you'll eventually get there. If you really want a hardcore push, it's going to be a pretty hard push, but there you go. That's been Transcendence. I will probably do an updated video when we see what 140 or 150 is like, and then I'll do character spotlights as I actually get 6, and then Toyen, and then whoever's next, maybe Esser, I don't know, maxed out. Anyways, if you've liked this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!